I don't know what I would do. I'm a very forgiving person, but in this situation, then heaven door go move. They go come out road for heaven like this. They go shift the door and the location of heaven for make it pass. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm so sorry it's been a long time. It's been back and forth, but I'm gonna catch you guys up on what I've been up to, but not on today's video. Today's video actually is striking me about baggages. I mean, love baggages. I'm on my way to work and this thing stuck me. There was this, it just stuck to me. So please, I want you guys to get this story. It's very important. And the story that I'm about to give you guys is not a driving and talking story, but I have a thing that when something is in my head and I don't let it out at that moment, I might literally forget the process as and how I want to talk about it. I'm actually very close to where I'm going to. That's why I'm doing this. So there's no, like, there's very little traffic. So and most times when I'm getting close to traffic light where it's red. So now this story stuck with me. It was something we're having with my colleagues, and they just made this story, and at first it was a joke, but later on I kind of started feeling some kind of pain in my heart. Now it's about a couple. This couple are married. It's not like they're not married, they are. So I'm more relaxed now to give you guys the juicy story, not driving on, because this story actually needs you to sit down. Like, you literally have to sit down and grab a drink or a popcorn or something. So this story is about a couple, legally married couple. Now, surprisingly happy married couple, because these days, we don't know what marriage is turning into. So this woman happened to be from a very rich home. Like, when I say rich, I don't mean just rich. Her generations are okay. So she literally had to do little or nothing to be fine. So, there's this point in our love life where we start talking about our future kids. We go as far as even naming these imaginary kids. Now, as couples, of course, with one of those things where you're in bed with your husband and you imagine that, what if we have 4 kids? I'm going to name her that, I'm going to name her this. So it happened that they had this conversation while, wherever sofa or loving moments they had, and she had no kids at the time. And the man said, okay, since we're already planning or having 3 kids, why not just start securing their future from now? Just to avoid them struggling instead of struggling for this, struggling for that. Brilliant idea. And the woman was like, nice. So let me give the kids just a simple name. Let me assume kid 1 is Zion, kid 2 is Paul, and kid 3 is Jimmy. Let me assume those are 3 names, right? So the husband was like, why not let's buy a land for them and start building a house in the name of these kids, since of course we're going to spend the rest of our life together, and of course these children are going to grow to meet her, so they need something they can fall back to. And she's like, amazing idea. Then wifey decides to buy the land in the name of her kids, or rather imaginary kids, sorry. So in the name of her imaginary kids, and putting her husband as a nest of kin to ensure that all these buildings are being supervised and nothing is missing. Wow, excellent. So kid 1, Zion, had his own apartment in his own land, was built to successfully. Kid 2, Paul, own apartment 2 was built successfully. Kid 3, which is Jenny, the apartment was on the roof level. The unfortunate thing happened. Daddy got into an accident, a fatal accident. So Daddy got into a fatal accident. Daddy was on sick bed, struggling for his life. Wifey was doing everything possible to ensure that Daddy stays alive. But God knows best. On his dying bed, Daddy decides to make a confession. He called his wife and said, I have really, really betrayed you, and I will need your forgiveness. She was curious to know what could this betrayal must have been. You've been the best and loving husband I could always ask for. Then she realized that the three children, or rather imaginary kids she had built houses for, were actually real children from a side chick. These kids were alive. 3 children. 3. I'm not saying 1. I'm saying this man had a child, had children outside his marriage, and was building houses for his kids, securing their life, as if he knew he was going to die. And he didn't even do it with his money. She did it. And on the will and every document was their name and the man's name, so she had nothing to claim. And this man died. He died. Like, I'm thinking about it, and at first it was a joke to me when I heard the story. I was literally laughing. But in between the story, I started to feel some kind of pain in my heart that how will I be holding my husband's hands, praying that he should not die, and then he dump this kind of information? How am I supposed to process it? He wants my forgiveness. He wants to go to heaven, leaving me with the body. Like, really? He will die. If something like dying twice, I will dig the grave and bring him out. Like, this story really pissed me off so much that this woman was devastated. Like, she was broken into so many pieces. That's what we call baggage. Like, guy. Let me finish the story before I start crucifying this man. She eventually picked up little pieces of herself, which obviously is very possible that she might never get herself back together. And she traveled out of the country, just to move on with her life, to live the old memories and stories about this life, this husband of hers, who is this. So wait, she did not only got her heart broken, she did not only have to deal with the fact that she just lost the love of her life, her husband. She was duped. She became a widow. No child. Like how will somebody be that wicked? Houses, you don't build a house in 1 month, you don't build a house in 2 months. 2 houses were built, 1 got to the roof level. That's when you now decided to die. It's so sad. Just imagine one guy now want to come into this woman's life. Do you know the trouble, the trauma he would have to go through just to make her believe or trust him? Do you know how she'll be able to, like, some people just see relationships and think everybody's okay. Nobody's okay. We just have to pick up ourselves and move on. Forgive, let it go and move. But for this particular situation, if that woman is deciding to love again, I'll cut cap for her, because I don't know what I would do. I'm a very forgiving person, but in this situation, heaven door go move. They go come out road for heaven like this. They go shift the door and the location of heaven for her, make it pass, because I don't see where I want to enter. Even if I forgive you, like, my God, how can you live with a woman, married her, have children outside, and use her money to build houses for your children? Guys, what would you do if you are her? What would you do if you happen to be this woman? There's a lot of stories about love and relationship that now who no tell you now make you no know. A lot of women are going through a lot in terms of love and relationship. Women are going through so much crap. So much. Things they have to put up with, they have to stay smiling, they have to stay pretty. They don't want to be a burden emotionally to anybody. People are going through a lot. So I want to know in the comment section, guys, what will you do if your husband on his dying bed gives you this kind of gist and gives you this kind of information and tell you to forgive him? What would you do? Anyway, we thank God for life, and currently from the story, this woman is moving on. She decided to get a sperm donor to have a child and move on with her life. She's not getting any younger, almost 40. What do you expect her to do? She has to move on. So she's trying to get the sperm donor. She's trying to have a kid. She's trying to find something to love uncontrollably, unconditionally, so that she can move on with her life. Okay, so I hope for everybody looking for love out there, I pray that you guys find the right one that deserves you, not only the one that you deserve, that also deserves you, because there's one thing for somebody to deserve you and there's another for you to be deserved. Okay, you are treated the way you are, you are loved right and just. It's not easy. My friend said one of the two wrongest people to advise in this world is a wife to a pastor and a woman in love, and I strongly agree with her. When it comes to such people, I don't hear. Take it easy. God will be with you. Let God decide. Follow your heart. But in situations where they are quite obvious, it's okay to share your problem with people, because sometimes the way you see it might not be how it is. So people will help streamline your thoughts and your ideas into actions, and don't speak to the wrong people. Don't speak to the wrong people. For me, I really don't care. All I need to get is what I need to get, and if I get something positive out of it, I'm good to go. But if your gossiping is going to affect my life or affect my relationship or anything that has to do with me personally, then I have a problem with it. So please, guys, try as much as possible to love right and be loved right. Know the difference. Don't just love stupidly. Okay, so this is OMAH checking out here. Please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please click on the subscribe button, and thank you for being with me all through this ride. Even though I've not been posting, but at first, as I said earlier in this video, that I'll definitely give you the changes that has occurred, but not on today's video. Please drop a comment on what you think about the story that bothered me so much early this morning that I just have to say something. I just have to share it with you guys. It was so much of a burden. Drop a comment on what you would do if you are the woman. Will you dig his grave and kill him again? Will you fight for your properties? Do you think you're gonna win? So I need you guys to just come up with your ideas and your comments on what you will do. Don't forget that somebody, me, us, all of us are looking at your comments to learn something and probably try to adjust whatever we're doing or not doing right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.